Hey guys, so today I'm going to teach you the basics of using Illustrator and the pen tool. Some of you already know this, but we're going to go over the tools that you need specifically for today, 9/27. So the first thing you're going to do is open up Photoshop. I'm currently working on one of the Macs, and if you're working in the computer lab, you will need to probably log into Photoshop, which I will explain to you in class. So the first thing you're going to do is go to New, and this window is going to pop up. You're going to want to title this Timeline and then whatever your name is. So I'm going to write my name. We're going to change the pixels to inches, and we're going to want to do at least a 20-inch width and a 10 by 10 height. As you remember from doing our diptychs, we can always crop down if needed. So this is going to be our canvas. And as you know, your assignment is to create a timeline of some of the most important civil rights movements that you feel should be highlighted. So to do this, we're going to work with the pen tool. The pen tool is located on the left side of your screen in your toolbar or toolbox, whatever you want to call it. And it literally looks like a pen, so it's pretty hard to miss. As you can see, if you hold down and pull this out, there is a pen tool, the freeform pen tool, add anchor point, delete anchor point, and convert point. We're going to specifically work with the pen tool, and we want to make sure by looking in the top left corner that we're working with shape layers and not paths. So the first thing to know about the pen tool is it makes shapes. Oh my God, look at that shape. The next thing you should know is that if you use the convert anchor point tool, you can make your edges rounded. Naturally, the pen tool will make your edges pointed and at 90 degrees or however many degrees. But if you hold with the convert anchor tool and pull out these little barbells, you can actually round your points, and you can kind of see how I'm changing and manipulating this. So this is how you can work with some of your shapes. The next thing you should know is if you go two little toolbox spaces down, you're going to see an arrow near the bottom of your screen. If you pull this out, you'll see a path selection and a direct selection. These tools are what these little arrows is what you're going to use to move your points around. And they both do slightly, different things. So the path tool, which is highlighted as black, moves the whole entire shape around, as you can see. I cannot just grab one anchor point. But this white tool actually moves each individual anchor point around so that you can make minor adjustments to your shape. Awesome. For those who don't know, if you click on the eyeball that's next to your layers, that will turn your layers and shapes on and off. So you're going to really only need to use a few specific tools today. The first one is going to be located at the top left of your corner, and it's the rectangle tool. The next one, you also could use the rounded rectangle tool, the ellipse tool, the polygon tool, or the line tool. Since we're making a timeline, it's pretty smart to start by making a line. You could also make a thicker line by using the rectangle tool if you prefer that. Right now I'm really just going to show you some of these basics so that you know what to do for this specific project. So you're going to start by making your line for your timeline, and this should be about in the middle so that you can write your events on either edge. You want to make sure that you're naming each layer after you create it by double clicking on the title. So this is timeline. The next, you can use either your rectangle or your rounded rectangle to make boxes that your text will go in. You may want to connect your boxes to your timeline by adding little lines doing whatever you want to do. You can make your timeline look however you want. I just really care about the dates, the events, and you practicing your skills. So once you've got your basic timeline look, whatever that means for you, you're going to use the tool that's directly under the pen tool, which is called the text tool. They have a horizontal text tool, which will write your text out horizontally. They also have a vertical text tool. I assume that you're going to use the horizontal, but you could get creative and try out the vertical. Today, please do not use the masks. We want to just work with text. So then you are going to input your text into the box. So event date, and then bio about event. So your bio really just needs to be a way to describe the event. You can use any font that you want. You don't need to have a super inclusive bio, but I do expect you guys to know a little about each event so that when we come back as a group, I can ask you about them and you can kind of explain them to me. So these are the main tools that you're going to want to use. Just remember, all I'm really looking for is a timeline of what you feel the most important events are, and this can look however you want. So if you'd like your timeline to only be made up of circles or only be made up of rectangles, you do you. For those more advanced illustrators, you might know how to do a few other things, and I totally encourage you to play around with them. But these are the only tools I'm really asking you to use today. So make sure that you save your timeline as timeline_name, and you want to make sure that you're saving it in the student folder, teen program, fall cycle 2006, graphic design, timeline. So make sure that it's saved in this folder with your name. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy illustrating.